Hi there. As you know, when you're running reports in Verso, a lot of times they'll export to Excel. And if you haven't used Excel a lot, you may not realize that there's an easy way to sort things, even if they have timestamps. So here we're looking at a shelf list of materials that are in SWLS's collection right now, just as an example. And I just opened it up from my downloads folder. So let's take a look at what I would do to sort these in a nice way. The first thing I do, obviously, is click Enable Editing so that I can do things with this report. The next thing I always do is I highlight all of the rows above the headers and I delete them so that row one is the headers of this file. Now, as you can see, these date item added and last checkout date, these are time stamped, not just dated. And if you try to sort them, sometimes they'll front end sort so that all the Januaries are together rather than the years. So what I usually do if I'm trying to sort these is I'll highlight all of the columns in my report, and then I'll go up to the top corner where it says sort and filter and go to custom sort. Then I can sort by the column I want. So let's say last checkout date, which is a pretty common one for us to use. And I'll say A to Z. When I click on that, this is a really important screen that pops up. What we want to do is sort anything that looks like a number as a number. And that means Excel is going to be smart enough to understand that these are dates, and it's going to sort them as dates. So now you can see the last checkout date goes from oldest to newest by year, then month, then date. And then if there were more than one on that date, it would go by timestamp. Another quick hint while we've got you here is when you're sorting by last checkout date, it's always important to go all the way down to the bottom because a lot of times there are things with no entry and those all drop to the bottom. Now, of course, this means the item has never checked out or has never checked out in Verso. So you'll want to take a look at those. And it's the reason I put this other column next to it, which was called date item added. Because if it's really old, like this one from 1996, and it's never been checked out, maybe that's a good candidate for weeding. But this one, which is from 2024, has never checked out. That's not as alarming. That's pretty normal. And I wouldn't put that on a weeding list. If you have any questions about how to use Excel or tricks or tips on how to sort your shelf lists better, please let me know. I'll be around.